Now, following up with Florida power outage map. Fresh in just from today, as I'm just now seeing this after my most recent upload. You are amazing, line workers. Woo! Look at that. 140,114 customers remaining. They are going through the hardest hit areas. We need to send our thanks and prayers to them. They are tackling the worst of the worst. We don't even know the full scope of how bad the damage is. News reports haven't even come out yet, but I've been following and tracking this as I've shown on my YouTube, and I'll show it again. I am so proud of our line workers, our EMS, our fire department, the fire rescue teams, the emergency teams, any FEMA support that can come out, despite the fact that FEMA is now out of money to not even be able to help these Floridians that have been stricken by Hurricane Milton. All of the citizens that have contributed to help their neighbors time and time again, day in, day throughout. Anybody from out of state who's contributed. Tennessee that's offered line workers from Tennessee and any other states of which that have sent out line working support, trucks, equipment. This is record breaking from the amount of days that they have been on. I can't but be pumped and juvenated for the truth. Just look at that. 614 as of today. That's how many people are without power. And if you guys haven't seen what I've shown before, I am so proud to show this. Let me take you back to the current posts of all the core truth of the numbers. They were at 205,000 16 hours ago. On YouTube, I got 19 views on that. 1 like. Okay, cool. No big deal. I just shouted out on TikTok 21 hours ago, and I got a lot of attention there. But more so, I see I'm growing, and that's good. It's all about the news stories, the journalism, the hard-hit stories of those. But look at this. 22 hours ago, they were just under 300,000, and I was boasting about that. As I go into edit, you can actually see the physical number right there from the video. It actually shows it right in here. The timestamp. If it loads, I have no AC in my house, so it's a little humid. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. They were at 275, and that's what their status was. You guys have got to think about something even crazier now. Let me take you back. For those who haven't seen it from my last video, I've been documenting this time and time again. I've given a shout out to many people whom I've been touched by their stories. Look at this. Florida line workers a day ago. They were still at almost 400,000 without power, and a day ago again, between two different timestamps between the 2 points. I'll show you the 2 timestamps, what these 2 differences are.
As a follow-up,
it's a 9:48:32 a.m.
just did in his live chat. I'll post the link in it.
And then right after that, it was from that timestamp.
Look at that, guys. Sorry for the.
About an hour later, they knocked out a small chunk.
It's a little bit cooler than my upstairs hallway because I have no working AC.
Yep, that's true. Still no working AC. I'm just toughing through it because you know what I'm thinking right now while I'm without AC and I've got wall units in my windows? I'm thinking about everybody on the west coast side of Florida and everybody else in this country that thinks with the heavy hearts of how they were deeply affected. Here's a map there from a day ago, going back a little further. As you see, just a day ago, they were still over 500,000. Go back a little further, they were under 800,000. That was 2 days ago. These line workers have accomplished the unthinkable along with the collective forces have collaborated. Look at that, 2 days back, almost 900,000, a little over 900,000. And then this is the shocker. They were still at about, or right about under 1 million 2 days back. And then you go back a little further, as I've kept a constant catalog documentary track of this from Florida's outage map. Just look at it. It's amazing, apart from all the videos that I've uploaded in between. Even during the time I lost power, I still tried to get news out. There are some graphic detailed descriptions. Look at that, 3 days ago, we still had almost 1.6 million people without power. Look at that, 3 days ago, I did a special shout out to the Florida line workers.
Here is the 2 counties, Pinellas.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how many customers still without power.
That was back then. That was 3 days ago. Not anymore.
And you cannot blame
Not anymore.
Company.
Hillsborough. Look at that.
They're doing the best they can.
That's right.
This is a water-stricken area, but look at the percentage of people still without power. You guys are going to see me releasing a lot more updates on this, as even in the other neighboring counties,
Well, I think I've shown a good chunk, and as the biggest shocker of all, scrolling back to the farthest time, exactly 5 days ago, going back just under a week, if not 6 days ago as of this time, when I was first affected from the power as the entire state of Florida. I stayed up through the entire hurricane, even through the power loss and lost power, and still stayed up late enough to try to keep up with the news stories, even on the full night that I lost power. Looking back 4 days ago, there were over 2.2 million. We're not there anymore. We have moved on from there. We are on now, better than that. But just look at this amazing record-breaking 5 days ago. Look at that. You guys give a shout out to the line workers, the EMS, the police, every rescue team, anybody and everybody who's contributed their efforts to clean up Florida, local Floridians, out-of-state residents, neighbors, even the wealthiest people who have toughed out the storm, and the most stubborn Floridians who are still there, fighting and working hard. There's heartbreaking stories that haven't been fully released, but they're there. These people's lives are there. I was watching on the East Coast as this happened, like many others, but I was doing something proactively on my personal level to make my personal statement. And I am so proud to be a part of the great sunshine state of Florida as a resident, even though I am looking at selling and moving my home sometime by next year just because of economics and the way life has been pushing me. I still care about Floridians over there. I've been here since 2016. I've been through hurricanes. I've been through weeks without power. We were lucky to have our power back within literally 16 hours. That's nothing compared to other people who have been hit worse and some who barely got a flicker of their lights. Everybody over there in the hardest hit county of Pinellas, Hillsborough, Manatee, and of course, I can't forget, I have to go back to the map because there's so many names. Every single one of you guys, we've been thinking about you every single day. Forgive me, just gonna circle around. Oh, my bad, my apologies. The last county I'm thinking where we're still at 140,000. The last county south and the last county north, we have Sarasota County, which currently, can't forget them. And of course, north of that, Pasco County, can't forget them. And of course, just under them, there's Manatee County, which I already mentioned. And let me show you guys something real quick here. If you didn't watch my past videos, which you can always catch up on this. I started learning this within a few days. The unified collected forces of EMS, firefighters, and everybody in the state of Florida, as if this documentary couldn't be made more proud, because their stories need to be heard. And I hope they come out. I hope they talk about it. I hope it gets talked about. Their stories collectively, and yes, even way out here, there's one Okeechobee. They're without a little bit of power. It's about 2%. Yeah, we got so lucky on the East Coast. I guess that's Okeechobee. Yeah, that's Okeechobee. So that's the remaining last counties without power, including even one way down here. Charlotte. Let's not forget Charlotte. Yeah, can't forget Charlotte. You're known, Charlotte. You are known with the current power outages right now. And trust me, guys, they're working hard to get the power back. But let me tell you something. What they did, the forces, they worked and collaborated from everybody who came into the state, and they collaborated all throughout the lightest and worst hit areas to wrap around. And what they've been doing relentlessly, tirelessly, day in and day out, they have been working to facilitate their forces from north to central, to east to central, to south to central, in all different angles. They have crisscrossed their paths, and they have worked in to wrap around, set up base around Hillsborough, and work and facilitate as they're doing right now. And what you're eventually going to see is everything turned blue, power back, restored. Why is this still having problems? I can't say for that, but I know for sure this, Hillsborough, their stories, and everybody in this side that got hit hardest in the direct path of Hurricane Milton as it made landfall in Siesta Key, Florida at 8:30 p.m. p.m. My bad. I'm doing a fresh cut video, so I'm allowed to make some mistakes. Yeah, but you see the truth there. That's the hardcore truth, and I can't be more proud as an American citizen to see our fellow people who are contributing their life and their days, risking life and limb through debris, wreckage, flooded, infected waters with bacterial risks, which, if you guys want to look it up, there is the risk of bacterial infection spread in flooded waters through many areas left behind by Hurricane Milton. So if you have friends and family still out there, look it up on the internet, pass the information. I've done my own video on it. Thanks for watching for today. That's all I have to report. Thank you.